because Michael's not the tallest guy in show business. And sometimes with people that are of lesser stature, which again brings us back to Alan Ladd, who was not also, and Alan Ladd did things like, a lot of his scenes you'll see him up on a step where the other person's on the ground, but one of the other things he did was he literally had trenches dug along the scene that they were doing if it was a tracking shot, and he would walk on the ground and the person he was walking with would walk down in the trench so that he would look taller. And when I did this thing, it was an ad lib on my part. I thought it would be funny, and Robert Zemeckis was a director, and when the scene was over, he just kind of looked at Michael, and Michael went, yeah. And that's why it's still in there, because if Michael had gone like that, it wouldn't have been in the movie. So it was, I appreciated him doing that.
Charming Robert Zemeckis, that's the, he did the one with Gump, Forrest Gump, yeah. Let's see, you worked with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Any memories of working with him?
Well, the terrific thing about Arnold is he has this image, and he's quite comfortable with it on screen, but he's so beyond that image. He's really, really a smart guy. This is a guy who made himself a millionaire 3 times over. He did it as a bodybuilder with all the supplements and everything else and the equipment and the gyms and all this stuff. And then he came over here and he bought a lot of land and buildings and apartments and stuff in Santa Monica and made himself a millionaire again. And then he started out in the movies. If you really want to see a bad movie, ladies and gentlemen, go look up Hercules in New York, where you see the amazing combination of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Arnold Stang, for those of you who might know who Arnold Stang was. But he did that, he did the Conans, he did the Red Sonjas, he did this stuff, and the whole time he just kept going, and then all of a sudden Terminator 2 came along and he was up there, and then he said, okay, now I'm going to start this, and I'm going to do Twins, and I'm going to do Kindergarten Cop, and he made himself excessively successful as an actor, and then he stopped acting for a while to make himself really unsuccessful as a politician, except that he was elected and re-elected governor of California. But
and now he's back to acting.
Yeah.
You mentioned Twins. We had to eliminate some of the titles that Marvin worked in. You're actually in Twins, but you said that film helped save your condo?
Well, thank you, because I had forgotten this. I have sworn for many, many, many years that if I ever had the opportunity publicly, I would say, bless you, thank you, how grateful I am to a gentleman named Michael Chinich, who was the casting director on Twins. I went in and auditioned for a different part in Twins, which was a guy who had some lines and had 2 scenes with Danny DeVito. And they didn't offer me that part. They offered me the part that I played in it, which was Danny DeVito's bodyguard. And there's not much there. There's not much there. And of course, being the egotistical schmuck that I was, by the way, happy Hanukkah to those of you who know what schmuck means. What was I talking about? Oh yes, yeah. I was saying, I don't know if I need to do this, because my agents called me up and told me I was being offered it, and I said, yeah, I'll think about it. I'll call you back on Monday. And I went home, and while I was home, my phone rang, and it was Michael Chinich. Now, understand, if you ever see the movie, you'll know that if there were 100,000 actors in Hollywood, there were 115,000 actors who could have done that part. And he called me up, and we had a very brief conversation, and he finally interrupted me and just said, Marvin, take the part. I said, okay. So then he took care of the rest of it. I was supposed to be on it for 2 days. I ended up being on it for 4 days, because that's how the movie business works. And then it became Twins, and it came extremely successful, but when it went on to videotapes and to cable and all that stuff, you get what's called residuals. And they're a wonderful thing, and actually, this is the only one of these I've ever saved. It's my SAG cover for my residual check from Twins, which is for more than twice what I made for doing the movie. And what I took home was 1.5 times what I made during the movie. And at the time, I had been in Santa Monica and gotten a condominium with a lady I was in a relationship with, and she went on to bigger and better things. And I was with the condominium, which I preferred, but it was running a little short. And what this check allowed me to do was, it bought me 6 months, during which I was able to get some more work and was able to get my condominium and save it and continue living there. And then when I sold it, I made a lot of money. So it was in the right part of Santa Monica. And so that saved that and made me a lot of money, and I was able to come back here, and people say, what are you doing nowadays? I said, nothing. I have money.
I love these stories. We're going to skip over 2 films, Out Cold and Chud 2, and move on to Only the Lonely, where you worked with the great Maureen O'Hara. Wilder Napalm, where Deborah Winger breaks your nose twice, and Wagons East. Richard, could you please start the last batch of clips here?
Psychiatrist, we go to the priest.
You feel threatened by Teresa.
Threatened?
Yes. See, she's taking up a lot of Danny's time, so you're feeling threatened that she's trying to steal your son.
What?
Rose, I know you realize it's the 90s. I'm just not sure you realize it's the 1990s.
You'll be fine.
There's fire!
I'm coming. It's okay. Everything's
Mrs. Fedroya's just lucky the judge gave her a bond at all. It surprised the hell out of me.
This ought to be good. Yeah. River must change court.
Well, you people are crazy.
Crazy? What do you mean crazy? Because we risk our lives crossing a river instead of staying on the other side? Because we have faith in ourselves? Because we believe in a wagon master who gave us the courage and the confidence to do things we never thought we could have done?
No, because most people use the bridge.
Can't be wrong. Yeah, we should have strung you up back at the river.
Yeah, we...
Wait a minute! Now, that's just fine. You people don't listen to nothing anyway. You're just like the... Who? Who, James?
Yeah, who?
Never mind.
Yeah, never mind.
Well, never mind yourself. Oh, never mind. No, never mind you. Never mind you. No, never mind you. No, I don't care you.
Sadly, that was John Candy's last film, and he wasn't around to finish it, so